What's going on YouTube? AJTBLS here, coming to you with another video where I'm going to be going first in it. We're very fortunate to actually have the score at 4-2. In my opinion, with how poorly we played in the last match, it should be 5-1 at this point. We do go first in this, and let's go ahead and get into the replay. Important to note that the Trinity count, the gap is closed. We have drawn power cards in the last set, and we only managed to go 1-1. You know, it is also important to consider that we should be getting more Trinity than TheNano, and not just because, you know, like I'm not saying we're entitled or we're lucky to getting those cards. We run Magician of Faith. He does not, so it's just simple math, and I know he runs jars, but he does side out the jars 2s and 3, as he has been doing, and we have a way to get back our faith as well from Knight Assailant. Yes, we should be getting more Trinity than him overall, but it is balancing out, and as does those type of things over a long series. So let's go ahead and get into the video here. We have an interesting hand, 2 spies, upstart. I think the play here is we have to set Reaper. We can't afford to get our spy nobleman, and we're about to see his hand anyways, so like a Dawn threat can just be eliminated with a Dawn nobleman, and we need to have this spy resolved, so let's see what we decide to do here. We decided to set the spy, which I think is a mistake. I know that, like, if he doesn't have it in his resolves, we get a quick one here, but we have one on the board. Like, if it gets nobleman, our one in our hand, we give away information of our hand, and also we lose the effect of getting another spy. Anyways, we have to send back the serpent here so he doesn't get a plus, and we're praying that he doesn't hit nobleman, to which he does, of course. And this is exactly what we didn't want to happen. And he, fortunately for us, he hits our serpent, so a little bit of luck on our side. He has to dust shoot us here, and I'll explain why. I know he has dust shoot, so I would have never picked this up, and I would have priority to move to the next phase to make the first action, so his shoot would just be dead all game, and my play would have been probably to set my spy, which would have worked out for him because he would just take exile, but he doesn't know that. I wouldn't have crashed my Decoichi into it. So he takes our Deco to prevent us from doing that crash play, and here I think we have to set our spy, just because it's kind of dead, there's no plus, but we decide to set the Reaper, which is another mistake. And he correctly does do it this way here. We lose our Reaper. Sets ring. We're kind of dead drawing here, have to set this. And he decides to go fully aggro and attack with that. So this has to tell us now that this card here is exactly ring. We're going to lose a Sork here. Yep. And we draw a TD. We have to bring out the Sork here just because of how behind we are. And we do it this way so we can't get dust shooted. We should be reading that that is ring, and Prio banish on that, and we should be setting the serpent as well. That kills that, and we're going to take 1400. So yeah, not looking great. Let's see what we can hit. Completely dead. Half the T set here as a bluff. And this is game. We have an interesting hand here. It's quite aggressive, a lot of chaos in it. TheNano's hand is more of a reactionary hand, but he does have Rhoda. I think the play is T setting. We decided to go this way. This forces a response. Rhoda's for exiled force. This can tell us he doesn't have a battle trap. And then here we top deck Thunder Dragon, which is amazing. He has to send it back, and we should just be always summoning Breaker here and trying. He chooses to Solemn the Breaker, very expensive Solemn. I mean, he doesn't really have a clear answer to it right now. And then he top decks a great card. In our eyes, we have to Sakuretsu this. There's just no way we can let this go through. And all of his chaos is now turned on. And again, no reason to set that. He chooses to bring out Sork to poke for 23. When he does do this, this is not a conventional play from TheNano, so I wouldn't be surprised to see if I take this damage reading that he has another Chaos Monster in his hand, and he's willing to commit a Dark here. So let's see what I decide to do. I do Saku it to preserve life, but Prio DP would be kind of nice here. We choose not to. Yeah, we have no answer to BLS yet. Have to set that and pass. And let's see what he decides to do. He doesn't bring out the BLS because he's worried about me top decking something, which is probably smart. Now our Sork is online. We bring out our Sork, and TheNano's got us again because he does have BLS. However, having a Thunder Dragon next to, having a Knight Assailant next to it is nice. And then this is his slam dunk play. No, it's actually not, because he knows we have MST. So this is an interesting spot for him. And he takes out our Sork, and then here we should be MSTing that, and then he knows he's going to be losing this to the flip effect Man-Eater Bug. and we should be tripping it off to get in there for 16, and Zambira is a great follow-up card. Attack. No reason to duo in this spot. We should be setting the duo, in my opinion. Choose not to, and then we get out of there. Fortunate that we drew a way to get out of that situation with the Knight Assailant. You know what? I made actually a pretty good play there, having the Knight Assailant as follow-up, expecting a Chaos Monster, because it's like BLS can attack, the Sword can attack the Knight Assailant for a +1, but I don't really see a world that he's going to do that. We're going second, and we have a beautiful hand. The Nano, not so much. He's playing around Delinquent for +2, which is, or player for +1, setting his whole hand there, which is kind of a cool play. In our perspective here, we should be assuming that he has a way to answer a face down at least one time. I hope that we set Knight Assailant in this spot. I think setting Spy is too early for it. We do decide to set Knight Assailant. It gets Nobleman to be expected. And this is his Donnie Z time. So we also have to expect that he has a Solemn Judgment down. The Nano would not give us this much of a plus. And we're hoping we don't lose our Spy. And on our turn, I think the play is set Spy. This is a very good play because we know that Tribe will get Solemned, and you can't Solemn a face-down set monster. So this is the right play, but he does rip Nobleman, which is so unfortunate for us. But again, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, this stuff happens. We need a combo piece. We need Heavy Storm, we need Pot, we need Grace, we need something to force out a Solemn on our turn, or it is over. Dawn takes out that, and we get our combo piece. This will get Solemned, it has to be Solemned, and we just set it back our own pass. However, we do lose. Yes. So the Nano gets us there. Let's go on to the next game. And we have a monster hand. He does hit a duo. We're hoping to keep our Thunder Dragon here. We lose our Pot. I should have said we're hoping to keep our Pot. That goes without saying. But we do have a Thunder Dragon Graceful play. Activate it. And yeah, pitches are simple. And I think you set the Faith. Yep. And you can set the Nobleman as a bluff as well. It's not going to be doing much. And what does he do? Sets a whole bunch of cards. In this spot, I think we should be taking back Graceful. Yep. Activate. And now this is just kind of getting out of hand. Game's definitely not over though, and we don't want to get 2 for 1 in this spot. So yes, this is probably right, playing around Torrent. Nano just absolutely can't afford another Faith to go off, so him doing this is just probably right. Add back our Serpent. We should be putting the Magician in defense and setting Train. Great play. He does hit Nobleman. And then now I think the Nano should be trying to challenge this card. Chooses not to. And in our turn here, it might be time to get 2 for 1 as like this game state just has to progress. So I think summoning the Gorilla is better than summoning the Sook, as we have 2 Noblemans for the Sook in the future. Let's see what we choose to do. We set Serpent, so we're playing very passive. We don't want to give him that Torrent. He's still holding on to his Charity, and this is a great spot to summon Sangan, as we don't care if we get Torrented here. And he lets it go through, poke, and set another bluff. Yeah, Storms are just a great draw. Obviously, you can fire it. We don't care about these, and it forces a Solemn. Now the Sangans is being big old Sangan, poking for 1,000. What does Nano decide to do? He shakes out that. Uses Graceful. We got no answer to this. He chooses to attack our Sangan. That's because he has Dust Shoot. So I remember at the time, like, actively thinking, like, there's a reason why he's doing this. We're just going to get Dust Shot anyway. So not that it makes a difference with our decision, because our set has no relevance with that. Like, it's not a discard trap. We get Dust Shooted here. There's no way that we just don't just snatch and put the Magician of Faith in attack. I wouldn't. And you know, flipping the Serpent's fine, because if he torrents, it's just game. We summon a Gorilla and kill him. And this connects, so we get the game. All right, going to game 2. He has a pretty good hand. The Dust Shoot's always nice. And he summons the Sangan. Scared of Nobleman, perhaps, but I don't keep that in against him. This one's close, because he's representing that he has a way to deal with face downs, which actually he does not in this case. I still think that setting the Serpent is probably right. Trying to sack it. Let's see what I decide to do. Just because we're reading that he has a way to answer it. And he does Nobleman, which he rips from the top. Take the 1,000. We should be Sakuretsuing this. And he doesn't Solemn it. Cool. Set the Spy, set the Saku, and he tributes out. This just again tells me that he has Chaos. We should cash in the plus, put it in defense, And we should be setting our Sangan. This is a Sakuretsu. No reason not to. Brings out Exiled. Get the plus. Beautiful. We got what we wanted by setting the Sangan, thinking a couple turns in advance. And he brings out the Sork. This isn't the best for us because we don't know he has Solemn set, but we also don't really want to tribe and lose our own guy. Drawing Storm is beautiful. Fire the Storm. He Solemns it. We should just be setting Faith. That's what we do. He banishes, of course, and this is why he's not summoning, because they're all going to be spellcasters. We don't flip our Faith. This is just for technical reasons. We don't want to take more damage, and also we're bluffing that it's Serpent, and now we're going to get what we want. That was a very good play by me by not setting Faith. I'm happy to see that I did that. It also turned our Light and Dark on, but we didn't hit that, and I believe that this is just game because we'll Heavy Storm. We snatch for game. So we played a little better there. We're doing well on time. Let's hammer out another match. Actually, edit. No other match. It's good. It's good like this. Too tired.